Hey guys, welcome back. So today's my only day off this week, so we're gonna try and get some things done. I got some motivation, which is super awesome. But we're about a week away from having our first set of cylinder heads back, which I am so freaking pumped about. But in order to be ready for those to come back, I have been in full prep to try and get all the parts, O-rings, seals, everything I need to basically assemble that motor and put it in the car. So what that means is I'm here at the shop and we're gonna grab a couple parts. I have a buddy over at Subaru who said that we could use his parts washer. So hopefully we can get those back today. But I need to disassemble some of the parts off of my original motor that came out of Blueprint. And we'll come back, do some things in the meantime, like boost controller, routing, mounting, things like that. And hopefully, like I said, we can pick them up today. We'll kind of just be waiting on our cylinder heads to show up. So we'll just go ahead and get into it. All right, so it looks like my camera just decided to stop recording. But here we have a box of parts, things like water pump. In most cases, I would tell you not to reuse a water pump. But because this is a race engine and likely to not see water, I'm really not that stressed about it because this motor only had like 15,000 miles on it and it was well taken care of, never had any issues with it. So I'm not all that worried about it. Got some other things like wristband cover plates, some brackets, some hardware, and a coolant crossover tube. So we'll go ahead and grab our valve covers as well and drop it all off at my buddy's. Doing a very limited run of shirts and hats. So once they're gone. If you want them, let me know. I really appreciate your guys' support as always. But we stopped by Subaru. Big shout out to Chandler for letting me use the parts washer. He went ahead and washed them right then and there. So I had them in 15 minutes. We ordered some other parts at Subaru. I need some washers and O-rings and stuff like that. But everything should be here in the next week or two, as far as all the prep and everything we need to assemble a motor. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys a little bit of the conversion stuff that I have gone ahead and did for the valve covers and the block in order to switch them over to AN as far as the breather ports go. I am pretty nervous to do it on the block, I'm not gonna lie, because that block is expensive. And I don't want any Loctite or any trash like the epoxy or something falling down inside and totally ruining my motor. So we'll touch base on the valve covers, the process, and in a later video, we'll go over actually removing them and the step-by-step. You guys ready? So here's our box of nice shiny parts. What I did want to touch base with is this is what I'm talking about the AN fittings. These are press-in fittings. The old ones are sealed in with epoxy. So basically you can see it's a flush fit, perfectly machined, everything like that. Basically, what we did was we heated them up and took a pair of vice grips and slowly worked them out. Then IAG provides a nut that goes onto the end of this, and we used a brass hammer, Loctited the sleeve and hammered them in. So we'll be repeating the same process on the block, but I wasn't necessarily as worried about damaging a valve cover as I am that block. So other than that, we got a box of parts and bolts and covers and all kinds of stuff like that. So as far as prepping parts for the motor goes, I either have everything on the way or have everything already. So this is my old block. If any of you guys are interested, I will sell that. $1,000, no problems whatsoever. Been run on E85, 15,000 miles. Should be perfectly good motor. Never seen any bearing material or anything like that. It's an OEM 11 millimeter oil pump, pan, everything like that. Yeah, bang my line. All right, so I apologize for jumping around and everything, but this is one of my main projects I'm trying to tackle because we need to run a whole bunch of this stainless steel -4 line that I'm going to be using for all the wastegate lines and to the turbo. We used to use the push to connect. What would you call them? They're like a nylon hose last year. But believe it or not, the thing that I thought they would do, which is not come apart, they actually, I had a line on the bottom of the wastegate pop off, and I do not want that to happen with us running 50 plus pounds of boost. So next best option would either be to build them out of AN lines or hard lines. So I have went ahead and decided to do them all in hard lines, which will use these type of fittings. It's kind of just like a brake line fitting. If you guys watch my handbrake, how to install a Hydro handbrake video, we'll be doing the same process as we did to build those lines. Instead of aluminum lines, though, we will be doing them in stainless. So I'll reference that video up above here somewhere, and I'll show you guys kind of what we're gonna do for all that. But for right now, I need to mount this bracket to the boost controller, which I've already gone ahead and drilled some holes. Get that zip tie off. We'll install the hardware that I stopped by Ace Hardware to pick up. And I bought some sheets of rubber that I'm going to cut out to mount to the back of this and glue it there so that we can mount it, or I will show you I want to mount it so it doesn't vibrate against the car or anything crazy like that. So let's go ahead and get the hardware mounted to this. We'll get some rubber cut out, glued on there. I'll show you guys where we're mounting it, and we'll go ahead and start building some lines. So I put a little nut cert here. So all you gotta do is use a bolt and thread it in. So we'll go ahead and Stick our bolt through there. So our wastegate bottom port and top port, basically we're just going to run them directly over to here. This fitting here, I'm actually gonna move down to the bottom port, and this one will go, you'll either wrap around and then go to the turbo up there, right there. Well, actually what it's probably gonna do is it's probably gonna go doop and right through that hole and then come out somewhere right here and go up. Because I have this tube that needs to go over. All right guys, sorry, I apologize for not picking up the camera. My buddy stopped by and I got a little frustrated with how dirty the shop is. Not gonna lie, I feel a little intruded on at the moment. It's a story for another day, but I decided to do a little bit of cleaning after we ended up getting our fuel barrels all situated. Feels really nice actually to have all of our fuel in one spot though, finally. We got our 1 ethanol type R and then just some barrels of pump E85. So now we're a one-stop shop basically. But I was working on the boost controller mounting, stuff like that. And I kind of got a little frustrated with the placement, the way it looked, just, you know, stuff like that. I'm a perfectionist. I like it to look good as well as be functional, right? So what started all this off to begin with was I had bought these stainless steel nuts that I was going to use for the wastegate, obviously, right? Stainless steel is going to act better to heat. Well, these are 1/4 inch. And so is the metal hose, or metal line, hard line, whatever you call it. But when I went to the aluminum side, which would be the fittings for the boost controller, the fittings that I threaded into the boost controller, obviously I wanted to do aluminum to aluminum, stainless to stainless. I realized that they have these labeled, which is a part number from Fragola, as -4 1/4 inch. Well, unfortunately, this does not fit on here. It does not even fit over the little collar piece either. So, whoever I bought them from has them either mismarked or whatever, but these also don't even thread onto a -4 fitting. So, kind of left me roadblocked, right? Well, then it sparked up some cleaning and I realized that I have these lines, which are actually really nice lines, right? They're crimp ends, say Vibrant on them, super nice. So, instead, I just decided, well, let's just change up the boost controller mounting. So I re-nut-serted here, and now with this pretty much taut, we basically have a nice, clean, straight looking fit, which will tuck nice. I can zip tie them both together and I'll be super happy with that. On the back side, we will have to fish it somewhere in between here and then come back up to here to thread into the turbo compressor cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these actually hooked up and kind of go from there. reason I wanted to do stainless is because this area here is gonna be super hot, right? We got a wastegate and we got an uppipe, and we also have a turbo, which all create heat, right? Hottest part probably of the entire front part of the car. So I didn't want to do it in rubber. I didn't want to do it in like a rubber AN style hose either. The only way I was gonna do it was either gonna be a stainless hardline or stainless braided line. So, damn, it looks good though. Got our boost controller all mounted. All I need for this is to extend these two wires and get a plug that will plug into the stock engine harness. And I'm gonna have to order one more of these to get from this side, which is hidden back in there. You can see the fitting right there. And then snake it around and to the turbo compressor. So we'll wait on some parts. All right, you guys, that's gonna wrap this one up. I'm actually kind of tired, but at least I got a pretty good start and idea to finish all the boost controller stuff and all of those lines. The car is pretty much ready. I mean, other than some wiring, plumbing, dropping a motor in and getting everything hooked up, getting the M-Tron configured, and building the fuel system, guys, there's not a whole lot left. So I have a package from Aeromotive showing up on Thursday, which I'm super pumped about, which will give us the opportunity to kind of dive in as to what I decided to go with, our plans as to our fuel choice, which you're gonna like this one, and building the fuel system. But with Vibrant as a new sponsor of my program, I wanted to use their parts if I could, so I'm glad that I had those lines. I love Vibrant products. I'm glad that I got another piece of their product line on the car. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I want to thank everyone sincerely for 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. It was a huge milestone of mine, and I would love to just keep on growing. The car will be done soon. I'm super excited. I hope you are too. So with that, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.